Do you eat super clean? Do you watch everything that goes in your mouth? Do you avoid processed foods, but you still feel like shit? You still feel like you're not where you want to be, like you're not as positive or you're not as motivated? Well, I'm in the same boat, and that's what led me to start the input theory. My name is Mick, and today we're going to talk about why food is a very important component, but only a component to a broader spectrum of inputs that contribute to our well-being and our health and our gut health and our mental health and everything. So, food is matter. We know that food comes in the system. It nourishes our microbiome, it reduces inflammation, and will allow us to live a better life. But food is something we can tangibly hold and feel. But there's a lot more going on that's completely invisible to us. So, bacteria. Bacteria is huge. And for example, if you were sitting or standing right in front of me right now and we were having a conversation and you were vibing, oh, forget your vibe. If we were just communicating, we'd be transferring billions of bacterial cells back and forth from each other, all from the source code, which is our gut. So we're communicating and we're sharing that stuff. Let's say I walked away from the conversation feeling buzzed, feeling great, feeling amazing. Well, it's because you were probably vibing really well, really healthy, really feeling good, and I was receiving this good microbiome in my system that was improving my immune system. Whereas if you walked away and you felt like crap, it's probably because I was vibing really low and you were receiving some stuff that was creating some inner turmoil in you. That's why sometimes when we have conversations with people and we leave, we feel totally drained. I think that's what it has to do with. That's what the input theory is about. So when it comes to matter, we're actually eating the people we talk to. So think about, you're eating super clean, you're feeding your system with nothing but great nutrients, but every single person you hang out with in your routine, let's say it's in your job, let's say it's your family at home, let's say whatever it is, if they are not optimized or they're not, vibing at a unstressed level, then your system will constantly be in battle. It'll constantly be fighting because you're feeding it good stuff. But why is it when you were eating shittier, you actually did better in those environments? How does that even make sense? Well, it's because I believe if you're strengthening your own system, you're creating a different version of yourself than when you're interacting with an office and you're there every day and there's not just one-on-one, but there's 100 people there and they're all stressed out and they're all eating like crap and they're not living their best lives. You're literally absorbing their bacteria, and that is going to mess you up. So there's that component of it, which is people, which is really the number one. So I'm not saying kick everyone out of your life. I'm saying the people that you spend your most time with, the routine that you built yourself out of, like when you wake up in the morning, where you go to work, who you see, what places you go to. If those things are on a routine, make sure you're dealing with people who are vibing like you are, who have the same interests, who have the same type of diet, or who are just trying to be healthy. Because if you're hanging out with a whole bunch of people who are totally unhealthy, and you're hanging out with them all day long and you're trying to be healthy, your system is just fighting. It's at war. It's at subconscious war. It's like you're eating clean, but why are you aggressive? Why? Well, at least for me, why do I feel like that? It's because my environment, the people around me. And 2 is media consumption. So media consumption has to do with another form of energy. So people is bacterial, matter. Media consumption is a different one. That's radio and light. So if you're watching TV for 8 hours in a row, every single night, but you're eating super clean, believe me, you're not going to feel good the next day. You're not going to feel optimal because the brain is exactly like the gut. It's receiving information. And if you plant yourself in front of a TV, it's literally digesting. We all know that if we ate for 12 hours straight, we would be putting tremendous stress on our gut. And we know that 70% of our energy goes to digestion, so that we can't really do anything else. The same happens with media. If we're looking at our phones all day long, if we're watching TV all night long, then we're constantly receiving these light waves and radio waves that are being digested by our brain. And if we're putting our brain under like continuous stress. It's sending stress signals down to our gut that is decreasing our gut health, that's increasing our stress levels, that's decreasing our vibe. And it works both ways. So if you're flooding the gut with bad bacteria and bad food, it sends signals to the brain that say, yo, stay where you are, create excuses, we're not dead, we're in survival mode. And the same goes if you're flooding the brain, it sends that to the gut and creates this vicious cycle, this loop. And so if your routine is contributing to a negative loop, you can eat as clean as you want. It's not going to work for you. So the goal here is to decrease stress, to increase vibe. And when you increase your vibe, you have a more positive outlook. You have less negative vibes. You have less negative thoughts is what I meant. Because 95% of all our thoughts, our actions, what we do, what we think, what we say is all rooted in our subconscious. So in essence, these inputs, people, media consumption, all these things are impacting our subconscious mind or subconscious health. And so the input theory it's not creating anything. I'm just putting together information that makes sense to me. If we can optimize our subconscious by reducing stress, we increase our vibe and we feel good. So food alone is not it. Food is a component, yes, but it's the people we spend our time with and how much we're digesting in our brain. Because even if it's good information, too much information actually creates a major stress on the system. So my name's Mick. This is Input Theory. I hope this helped. Have yourself a nice day. See you later.